So the other day I was watching a video uploaded by Alexander Day, and for those of you who don't know, I guess you could call him a red pill MGTOW channel, where he talks about dating and relationships, and oftentimes he or someone that's affiliated with him will ask women different questions or interview them on different red pill topics, and then he'll discuss their answers in a format, and it's actually very similar to mine. So I was watching his video the other day called Men Are Island and Women Are Boats, and I'm not gonna lie, I heard some of his opinions, and I sat there a bit befuddled at what his intentions are, because I don't really know if his intentions kind of match up with his commentary, which you will see in a second. So the first thing I want to kind of discuss actually is kind of what he starts talking about at first. I'm not going to respond to the whole video because I actually mostly agree with him, and in fact I agree with his conclusions wholeheartedly. It's just kind of these supporting details or some of these other details that make me, perk my ears up. He'll take us away so we have a good foundation to start.
Many years ago, a community of men formed calling themselves pickup artists, and they would swap advice with each other on the best way to meet and date women. To begin with, their advice mainly consisted of tips and tricks that would be used to enhance your status in social situations. Say this line to her, play this game with her, begin to physically escalate at this point. At the time, it was something of a revolution because it empowered men to take control of their own dating lives. As time went on, the techniques they employed became more and more sophisticated and refined, but ultimately it led to the discovery that if you really want to date a high-quality woman, it's not about saying this line or acting in this particular way. It's not about any trick that you can employ. It's about fundamentally changing your life. Not so that you appear to be confident and successful, but so that you are confident and successful. This is why, over time, the pickup scene has begun to look more and more like the self-improvement scene. The focus is now less on how to make women attracted to you, but how to become the best version of yourself.
So, like I said, overall, I agree with him. I'm not really going to disagree with him about improving yourself and becoming better. It's kind of these next couple of things, which again are kind of details, and something I think that's more pernicious than I think he originally intended to be, that really make me want to make this video response. So he's going to continue, and you guys will, and I'll just respond when I need to.
For which women being attracted to you is just the natural byproduct. Now, when you're a teenager, you are swimming in hormones, and it's quite natural for you to spend all of your waking, and a lot of your dreaming life as well, thinking about women, thinking about sex. But as you get older and wiser and you accumulate more experiences, you realize that women cannot be the focus of your life. The main focus of your life should be yourself. While there are many reasons for this completely unrelated to women and dating, it is important that you understand that when you place women at the center of your world, they're not going to find that attractive. The more you chase, the more they run.
Now, here's the thing. It's not so much that he's wrong, but so much that he allows this to sit as if this is like a reasonable or even functional way of which one could honestly have a meaningful relationship with any human being at all. In fact, to really kind of hammer in the point here, he's going to show us an interview, or show us a response to a question that he asked the young lady he was interviewing.
Don't believe me? Maybe you'll believe this woman.
Well, I've been with the same guy for a very long time, but we did actually break up, and I had this other guy, and he was, completely just head over heels for me and wouldn't even look at another girl, but it was too much, because he was just so overly clingy, overprotective, jealous, wouldn't let me go out, and it was just a little ridiculous, so I ended it with him.
Now, here's the thing. That is a far cry from simply, courting a woman. I mean, being overly protective, jealous, overbearing, among just being annoying behaviors are certainly very alarming red flags that most people with intelligence would realize that you probably shouldn't invest too much of your time or give too much emotional value to an individual who is acting like that towards you. It's going to get pretty dangerous pretty fast. That's not the same as someone courting you as a woman, someone who spends time with you. They try to go on dates with you. They, spend a little bit of money on you because they want to show you that they appreciate the fact that you're with them. Money seems to be the quickest and easiest way for women to understand that men like them for some odd reason. I mean, it's not for some odd reason. That's just, I'm trying to make a point here. But courting a woman, or at the very least trying to show a woman that you like her, that she's special relative to other girls, shouldn't really be considered or put in the same category as all of those pernicious actions that are actually kind of dangerous, if not just fucking annoying.
So it wasn't like attractive to you, it was like repelling?
No, because you gotta let your partner be their own person still.
Her story is not unique. This pattern repeats itself again and again, over and over throughout the world. Men continue to make the same mistake.
Now, again, I'm not sure if this is Alex's intentions as to conflate courting women or putting women on pedestals or making women important in these men's emotional lives as the same as being overly protective, jealous, and trying to prevent the woman from going out. But again, those aren't mistakes. Those are the precursors to an abusive relationship. They're not the same thing as a guy who is trying to talk to a girl more often than he would his friends, or trying to talk to a girl more often than he would talk to someone else, or take her out on dates, or be really nice to her, or help her out a lot. Those just aren't the same thing. I mean, one is a guy attempting to show that he really appreciates a woman. Another is a guy trying to obtain ownership over a woman, or something. He's overly protective because he has a huge ego and he doesn't want other guys to step on his territory. It's just, they're not the same behaviors or actions, and I don't really think that they should be conflated as such.
A man likes a girl, and so he starts focusing more and more attention on her. He's thinking about her all the time. He wants to spend all his time with her. He wants to be closer to her.
And that's perfectly reasonable. A lot of people oftentimes think of logic and rational thinking as the antithesis of emotional thinking. And that's not actually necessarily the case. They're more of a yin and yang kind of flow chart pattern than it really is. One is the complete opposite of the other. And if you like someone, it would logically make sense that you would try to spend more time with them, or that you would make them more important in your life because you, one, want them to reciprocate it, and two, well, you like them. It kind of goes without saying you'd want to spend more time with them. So I don't really think that it shouldn't really require much of an explanation now that I think about it.
But the more he does that, the more she's repulsed by that behavior and less attracted to him.
Yes, and honestly, this should not be left in the air as a way to court women or as any reasonable advice in trying to date women. This should honestly be looked at as probably one of the worst things about trying to date people in general. The more you like someone, the more you care about them and try to spend time with them, the more they're repulsed by you. But if you do the opposite, you don't really care too much about them, you try to push them away, or you become apathetic to their advances, they want you more. Is that really how we're supposed to have consistent or functional relationships? Like, how does that work in principle? How does that work in anyone's mind? Is that's the way the world should be? Because I honestly don't think that it should. I mean, why would you even want to be with someone if you are totally apathetic to them? Like, if you're a dude and you focus on your life and you become this great guy, right? And women just aren't even on your radar. Like, why would you even, like, invest any amount of time at all into them? Like, have sex with them, talk to them, or whatever, if you don't care about women? And why would any woman want to try to make any sort of partner out of someone that doesn't fucking care about them or doesn't like them? What kind of logical sense does that make? Now, sure, you can try to hit me up with the BS that emotions don't always make logical sense, but that's oftentimes not even true. In fact, I can make logical sense out of it. It's a lot of dysfunction and it'd be its own tangent, but I can make sense of it, certainly. I just don't think it's the way the world should be, and I don't think that any advice that doesn't smack this shit down as outlandish as it really is, honestly, should be criticized. Which is what I'm doing here.
Attractive. What I'm talking about is so important to understand. If you want to have women in your life, if you want to have relationships, if you want to have abundant sexual experiences, then for the moment, forget all the little seduction techniques, forget all the pickup artist stuff, forget all the little tips and tricks. We need to talk about the big picture. What I'm talking about is a fundamental shift in the way that you see the world. You need to Ignore what your hormones are telling you to do. They're telling you to put women as the center of your world, that you should be focusing on women. Ignore them. You should be the focus of your world. You need to be your own center of gravity.
Now, you won't find me disagree with Alex here. I don't really think that women should be the focus of your world. At least not if that woman isn't carrying your children. Like, I mean, if this is just some random broad at fucking Starbucks, then, like, no. If this is just some random chick on the internet, no. If this is just some girl in your math class, no. But if this is someone you're trying to court, then I think it kind of necessitates that you have to put focus on them. And again, if you're just a lizard and you're just trying to get your dick slick with the pussy juices of a woman, then, like, then I guess act like an aloof dickhead and go to the gym, because you really don't need much advice for that.
I don't remember when I first heard it. There was something like 10 years ago. But I want to share the boat and island analogy because it's a fantastic way to understand how this world operates. You see, men are islands and women are boats. So what does this mean? Well, think of it this way. Every man lives alone on an island. He plants the trees that he likes. He builds the buildings that he wants. He spends his life shaping the island to be the perfect expression of his masculine creative energies. And he's happy there alone on his island. But women are not islands. They don't want to spend time by themselves, isolated, building their own lives. That's why women are boats. What they do is they hop on their boat and they sail through the water, ducking and weaving in between all of the islands, looking for one that looks enticing. If they see an island that they like, they'll dock their boat, they'll go on shore, and they'll live on the man's island for a little while. They'll try it out. If they like it, they'll stay. If they don't, they'll hop back on their boat and sail off again and try and find another island. What this means in the real world is that men are the ones who are creating the life that they want.
Now, let's say we take that analogy at face value and we accept it as literal. Let's say we accept this as true of women in general. Then I beg my friends the ultimate question, which is indeed the title of this video. Why would you want a woman? Legitimately. If this is the case, if this is our analogy, if this is how we're supposed to look at women, as basically a bunch of pirates or leechers who come to our island that we spend all of our time creating, looking at our resources, taking them for themselves, and then deciding they don't like the apple trees, they wanted peaches, so they leave my island with my apples that they just sampled after cutting down my trees to build whatever they wanted, their fort, their garden, or whatever. Cut down my trees to build an SOS so some other guy somewhere can save them. Let's look at the analogy that way. I have to ask, legitimately, why would you want a woman? And the only reasonable or logical explanation as to why you would want a woman is you fucking wouldn't. I mean, you can try your damnedest to tell me that you want a woman because your hormones is telling you that you need to put your dick inside something. You need to make your dick wet with the pussy juices of a woman. You can try to slide that to me, but honestly, considering the fact that there's so many other options which you could do to get your penis wet with the pussy juices of a woman, and you can trick your body into obtaining those same exact hormones or those same exact experiences, if your only answer to that question is you only want a woman so you can put your dick inside of her, why invest any amount of your resources into her? Like, how fucking stupid is that? If we're supposed to look at women as like a lot of MGTOW, I don't know, Taves, I read the comments, I know a lot of men here, they don't really like women all too much, okay? I know, I get it. Some of you guys, you're not big fans of the whole, other gender that we have. And I know some of you guys are MGTOW. You guys are like, why would I get married to I'm not even, no, fuck that. Why would you interact with a creature described as such? Now, you have to understand something, right? Like, there's a whole different audience or mindset that Alex is supposed to be portraying here, right? He's supposed to be giving us advice, not me, but other men, advice on how to get women, or how to understand women, or how to want women. But with an explanation like this, describing women as boats who come onto our islands, look at our resources, shop around at us, and then take our stuff and fucking leave, I have to ask, why would you want a woman? And even if that woman decides to stay, what did she bring to my island? A wet vagina? That's it? That's the most you get out of a woman? Just simply sexual pleasure? What if she destroys your mind mentally and emotionally? Was all of that sex worth it then? I just don't even understand like what Alex was thinking here. Like, how the fuck is that analogy appealing, or how is that going to entice anyone to spend any amount of time in trying to interact with and talk to women? And I don't have to imagine that anyone with any degree of common sense, or someone that has more strength in their mind and their character than just making their penis wet with vaginal juices, would have to say, no, I'm not gonna fucking spend my life improving it and making it better just so some woman who didn't do fuck all just comes over and just docks her boat and takes my stuff. That's ridiculous. And here's the thing. To be clear, I don't hate women. Again, I read the comments. I know a lot of people here, you guys aren't fans of women. But I'm not. I feel the total opposite. I love women. I like talking to women. I like looking at women. I like the women's voices. I like the way they look. I like women's eyes. I like women a lot. But I am not going to pretend that women in general don't do dumb shit. Like you'll note, like my video catalog is me complaining about the dumb shit thoughts do or women do or whatever. The fact that they destroy their children's lives all the time. Look, I'm not gonna pretend that stuff doesn't happen. But I'm also not going to sit here and pretend that I hate women in any capacity at all. I really don't. And I honestly don't have this opinion that most women are these leechers. Now, I know you got gold diggers. Like, there's a whole word for it, right? Or a colloquialism for it. I get it. And you've got women who are like this, who are just going to try to take your resources and your stuff. And you have women that don't care about you, or you have women that use you. In fact, I'm going to come up with a video where I show you guys specifically an example of when this happens. I understand that some women are like this, and I make these videos calling these behaviors out to help young men analyze and see these women and see the writing on the wall to avoid them. But honestly, if we're supposed to look at women in this particular way, I have to conclude there's no reason to try to talk to a woman. You're better off just getting a fleshlight if all you want to do is use them as masturbatory aids, because that's what it would be doing. You would just be using women as masturbatory aids. And I have to ask, why invest all of that money into hundreds of different women just to get your dick slick with their vaginal juices? You're risking all these different adverse effects and all this different bullshit just so your dick is wet and you can tell your friends, hey, I put my dick inside of a woman a couple of times. Is that really what we should aspire to be as men? Is this really how we should look at women? Is this really what we should expect from women? What we should expect from each other? Now, again, I don't really think that Alex's entire point was to go and imply everything I implied. I really don't think it was. But hearing that analogy and hearing what he said about us men investing into women that we like or making them important to us will make these women not attracted to us. Do you hear how fucking insane that shit is? Treating a woman well, making her special, investing time in her, making time for her, makes her not want to be with you anymore. How are you supposed to have a functioning relationship if literally investing into the woman, which is investing into your children's lives and making them better, the entire point? The entire point of our relationships with each other as men and women should be to improve each other's lives and to improve the lives of our children. We shouldn't be trying to take resources from each other or capital from each other. We should be building each other up. Again, I know a lot of guys who watch my videos don't like women. You guys are very angry with women. I get it. And I honestly think that you should work towards moving past that anger and that frustration. And I honestly think that we need to move past looking at women as just leechers. We should look at the writing on the wall, acknowledge a lot of women are damaged. Avoid those damaged women. We should acknowledge that women will leech you sometimes and they will take your stuff. Avoid those women. You have to acknowledge they exist and you have to build the mental faculties and tools to avoid them. But looking at all women in this particular way, I don't think is healthy for anyone and anything. We still have our children to raise. We still have our children to deal with. Some of those children are little girls and they don't fucking know better. They don't have anyone to teach them right from wrong in any functional or any reasonable sense. We're just going to cast them out because their mothers were thoughts. I don't think that's right. And these young men, they need someone that's going to guide them and teach them how to mate select well and how to avoid these type of women. That's one of the biggest reasons why I make these YouTube videos. I'm not doing this like simply to vent frustrations about the dumb shit women do, but also to try to help you guys like understand and realize that like, yes, you're gonna have evil women. Yes, you're gonna have shitty women. The point is to recognize the mental issues they have, recognize their behaviors, see how they're going to do, see what they're going to behave, and avoid them. Not even interact with them. That is what my YouTube videos are usually for when I'm talking about these particular behaviors from women. Or at least some of them. I mean, not all of them, but the ones in this particular area are like that. So again, in conclusion, I don't really think Alex's ultimate point here, especially if you watch the rest of his video, he is talking about self-improvement. I'll never say don't self-improve. Again, like that analogy and his earlier advice and not, investing in women or investing in a woman, I can't really co-sign with, and I felt the need to make a video like this. I already know, man, you guys are gonna unsubscribe because I don't hate women. So for those of you who are unsubscribing because I don't hate women, well, see you later, Space Cowboy. With that being said, I assume you guys got something on today's video, and if you did, man, go ahead and click the like button. If you're going to click that subscribe button. Comment in the comment box below. As always, you guys have yourselves a great day. I'll see you cool cats soon. Adios. So, for those of you who are still there, I have a little bit of a proposition for you. So, I downloaded this browser called CryptoTab, or basically is a mining browser that lets me mine Monero that then is instantly converted into Bitcoin, and then it is sent to me. And I've been recently learning more about cryptocurrencies and trying to get into them and trying to mine them and generate them because I think it's really, really fun and really, really fascinating. So here's what I need from you guys. I need you guys to use my link down in the description box below to download the CryptoTab browser. It works just like Google Chrome. In fact, you can transfer all of your tabs from Google Chrome that you have open into CryptoTab automatically, perfectly fine. You just continue where you left off, and then you turn on the mining, and then you start making Bitcoin, and I start making Bitcoin. And it doesn't cost us a thing. No miner. We don't need any of that stuff. We just need our browsers, and we need to come together to create a mining cloud. My goal is to try to create a mining cloud of about 100 or so people. So if you could be a pal, it doesn't cost you anything, brother. I already know about 3,000 people are going to watch this video. I don't know if they're going to watch this point. They're going to watch this video. I just need 100 of you guys. Download, start mining. Thank you very much. You guys have yourselves a great day.